Hey guys, welcome to another video. I am coming at you from Grace's nursery. Just wanted to switch it up a little bit, and this is easier while she plays. But I wanted to talk about the books that I read in October. Okay, so the first book that I read in October is called The Things of Earth by Joe Rigney, I think is the author. I'll put a picture up on the screen. I somewhat read this book, and it's not that I didn't enjoy it. It's not that it's not a good book. I was just getting kind of bogged down because I had started so many books. So I'm saying it's a soft DNF right now. But I did get some good wisdom from what I did read of it. The way that I read it was more so like skimming a lot of it, and then I read the conclusion at the end. And the book is basically all about how we can enjoy the things of earth while still having our ultimate joy and love in Christ instead of the things of earth. And just recognizing that those things can become idols, but at the same time, God gives us good gifts to enjoy, and He's a good Father. And so it's all about that tension and that balance between those two concepts, which I find I really struggle with, especially in the good gifts that God gives me. I find it hard to fully enjoy those things, knowing that, they could be taken away from me at any moment. And also knowing that my flesh can easily and quickly make things idols. So that's what drew me to that book. And I will say, from what I did read of it, I would recommend it and think that it's a good read if you're also struggling with some of those things. So I'm not going to give a rating for that because it is a soft DNF. I hope to read it more thoroughly and in detail in the future. So that was the first one that I read. And then the second one that I read was a bit of a big disappointment. And that is The Antique Hunter's Guide to Murder. And I can't remember the author's name. I no longer have a physical copy of it. It was from the library. The reason it was such a bummer is because I so enjoyed the first half of the book. Like, I was anticipating it to be like a 4.5, potentially even 5-star book for me. But then the halfway mark, it just nosedived, and there ended up being some like crude sexual joking that started happening from one of my favorite characters that, I was enjoying from the first half of the book, which is a bummer. And so yeah, there was the crude sexual joking, and then there was, I want to say it was Jamie, the Kansan reader, talk about like a token LGBTQ plus character in books. I am also finding that in a lot of books and just find it a bit annoying. So that was also present. There's my rant on that book, and I only gave it 2 stars. Would not recommend. So the book that I read after that, I almost DNF'd. I was probably maybe, I don't know, like 25% into it, and I think I was just in a bad mood at that point and was just not feeling the book for whatever reason. But it is called The Strangers, and it is Margaret Peterson Haddock's, and it's a part of the Greystone Secrets trilogy. And it has, it had been on my TBR for a long time, and I felt like fall was a great time to pick it up because it has kind of this spooky vibe to it. The cover definitely gives off a more like spooky mystery type of vibe. And man, I am so glad I put out a poll on my Instagram. If you're not following me over there, it's just Whitney's Reading Journey on Instagram. But I put out a poll, and only one person told me that I should continue with it, and that is Cheryl. And so I'm so thankful that I took her advice because I knew she had read the book. So even though she was like the only person that voted for me to continue on, her opinion, you know, weighed a lot on me. And so I pushed through and continued on with it and ended up really enjoying it. And I gave this book 4 stars. If you don't know anything about this book, these 3 kids, they're siblings, and they end up finding out that there are these other 3 siblings who have the same names, same ages, birthdays as them. Well, they might not all have the same names. I think one of the kids might have had a different name. I'm not sure. But anyways, they hear about these kids that have been kidnapped, and they, you know, have so many similarities to them, and they find that it's weird. And then their mom starts acting weird and ends up going away on this work trip and just leaves them with this babysitter and is being very weird and mysterious and telling them she doesn't know when she's going to get to come back. So yeah, it's all about the kids trying to figure out, you know, where did mom go? What's going on with these kids who have been kidnapped, and how is it all connecting? And it's definitely like a sci-fi-ish type of book as well. It is middle grade. I really enjoyed it, and I'm currently reading the second book right now, The Deceivers, and just slowly working my way through that one as well. So we'll see if I like the second book as much as the first one. The next thing that I read was Then We'll Find the Way Home, I think is what it's called. It's actually a short story. I saw Chantel post about it on her Instagram, and so I just... Grace is like learning how to laugh, and it's just giving me life. But so I read this short story, and I can't remember the main like classic fairy tale that it's like trying to retell or reimagine, but it was definitely creepy and disturbing. But I gave it 3 stars for what it was, you know. For someone who is a very big wimp with creepy, scary things, I was able to read it just fine, but it is kind of, you know, a little bit disturbing at the end. And the next book that I finished was my Christian nonfiction for the month, and that is Missional Motherhood by Gloria Furman. I was really expecting this book to be more, you know, heavily focused on motherhood and just encouraging mothers in the gospel and how the gospel and Great Commission and eternity impacts our mothering of our kids. And while it was that to some degree, it wasn't like the main focus of the book for me. I felt like the main focus of this book was like theology, and like the very first part of the book was solely like a survey of the Old Testament, and it just felt kind of clunky and overwritten and not concise. It was lacking focus, and it just felt like she was having a hard time connecting the passages and theological concepts to missional motherhood. So yeah, I would have enjoyed more focus on like mothers in the Bible and what motherhood should look like, and just encouragement for mothers who are tired and just going through the mundane and feeling burnout and things like that. I know a lot of people have recommended Risen Motherhood to me, and I do have that book, so that is certainly on the docket for me to read very soon. So if you've read Risen Motherhood, please let me know in the comments if you think that I will enjoy that one. But yeah, I gave Missional Motherhood 3 stars. If you're looking for more of an Old Testament overview and just general Bible theology, I guess it could be good, but there's my thoughts on that. I'm gonna read a book to Grace, and then I will close out this video. I love you as soft as the dew. I love you as far as a star. I love you because you are you.
Let's show them what we're reading. It's called I Love You as Big as the World.
All right, and then the final book that I got to read was a kid's book, and it is called The Courageous Millie Rose, and it was such a sweet little fall read. And the only thing is I wish it would have been longer, a little bit more fleshed out. But the illustrations were super cute. The story itself was super cute. And I think I gave it 4 stars. And I can't remember the author's name, but you should definitely check it out, read it to your kiddos. And yeah, I think that's all that I have. I'm going to be putting together a birthday vlog from this past month. It was both my birthday, my daughter's birthday, my dad's birthday. We just had a lot going on in the month of October, so I wanted to document bits and pieces of it. And I'm going to have a big birthday book haul coming up soon, as well as showing you guys my November TBR. So a couple videos hopefully in the works and coming to you guys soon. I hope that you are having a blessed day and are feeling loved by the Lord and those around you. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.